The Ministry of Finance and Mass Media notes that the ability for ministers to provide tax concessions as and when they please has been removed through the new Inland Revenue Act. The ministry made this announcement through a media release signed by Director of Media at the Ministry, M.A. Hassan.
MP Bandula Gunawardena had earlier stated that the new Inland Revenue Act had been developed by foreigners to affect the local population. The media release questions whether the parliamentarian has forgotten of the Strategic Development Act brought in under the tenure of the previous government, which provided large-scale tax breaks and tax holidays to foreign nationals. The release further notes that the previous government used this act to provide long-term tax concessions to selected foreign nationals with the aim of pocketing commissions. According to the Ministry of Finance, the secretive tax policies of the previous regime led to a warped situation where 10% of the country's population controlled the dividends of 54% of the economy. The release points out that the new act has put an end to the era where local investors have to plead and go behind politicians or their associates to gain tax breaks and concessions to match their investments. It says that, as the Act explains, the tax concessions and breaks given to investors accordingly, the investors can learn beforehand of the concessions that they will receive. The notice also says that groups connected to Mahinda Rajapaksa who cannot bear to see the powers of ministers being curtailed are attempting to mislead the public by making false statements. According to the media release, the Inland Revenue Act also takes away the finance minister's ability to provide tax concessions or breaks. The notice also denies the statements which say that those in families who earn an annual income of 600,000 rupees or less, senior citizens and places of worship will be subject to taxation through this act. According to the release, entrepreneurs, small and medium-scale industries, as well as farmers and journalists will be given interest concessions through 8 new proposed loan systems which will come into effect through state and private banks from September.